If you're a content creator, you know that fastness or quickness is the key to the game when it comes to creating your content. You have to be a fast paced content creator if you want to do well in this industry. But we also know that sometimes you do not have help in order to create your content in a quick fashion. So let's break down one of my simple tricks for creating very fast content in a very easy and simple way so that you can do this as well inside of your content creation. Now, again, this is going to work incredibly well for people who are doing this on their own. Now, you can do this with someone else as well, but it's incredibly easy to do this if you are a solo creator and you do not have an Instagram boyfriend. So let's talk about taking photos for your social media very, very quickly. And I can do this in under 1 minute. You can too. This is also really great if you are going to be creating content out in public and you don't want people staring at you a lot. So what I do is, if I do not have to use this for a branded content deal, if I'm not putting this on my website big and bold, if I'm not going to be printing these out or using these for a magazine or for some type of content that I am doing for another company, I will use this trick and I will set up my phone to record a video rather than take a photo. Now, this is because I do not want to be running back and forth to take those photos, and I don't want to hold a remote shutter release or a clicker in order to take my photos. I could, but I choose not to. I'm going to get a lot more content this way. Now, I filmed this video. Let me show this to you really quick because this is going to be just an actual video of what I did to take photos by this really cute bike. You can see I'm going to just walk right up to it. And as I am walking up to it, I'm just striking poses. And I'm doing it kind of slowly so that I can get a number of different poses and it's not too terribly quick. Because as I am going to go through this footage, I'm going to scrub through it in a minute, I am then going to be able to take screenshots of this to use as photos. So you can see that entire thing, 24 seconds, and I hit a lot of poses with this one. So with that in mind, I am now going to scrub through this and find the content that I want. So I'm just using my thumb on the slider and I'm just going into my frame. That could be my first image. Now, because I didn't move too terribly fast, it's not going to be blurry. So then I'm just going to tap on the screen and remove everything else, and then I can just take a quick screenshot of this. Now, I could edit this in the moment if I want to. I would just drag out those black bars right there, and then I could save that image. I typically do this after the fact because I will take a lot of photos, and then I will pick the ones I like from there and only edit those. So you're going to go ahead and say save to photos, and then you're going to tap back on it to bring up that toolbar so you can scrub through it again. So let's kind of go through this and talk about the different photos I could be getting from this to then use. And then I'll talk about how I go through and cull these images. So then I'm just going to kind of move through it. You can see that might not be quite as cute as that. And that's just a tiny little shift in where my body is, where the dress is, how my shoulders are angled. And I can go through and pick what I like best. So now I'm going to look up. There's another photo. I can look down. There's another photo. Point that toe and lean forward. That's another photo. Move my hand to the handlebars. That's another photo. Shoulder up, eyes up. That's another photo. Lifting my hand up to my hair. That's another photo right there. Moving my hair back. That could be another photo. Actually moving it. If I had put my hand down a little bit faster, I could have taken that as a photo. You can see how I'm just posing in different angles. That could be another photo right there. There's another photo right there. There's another photo right there. And that's a lot of photos in 24 seconds. I could even get those photos stepping away. So at 24 seconds of footage, I have just taken 10, 12 photos just from that little clip. And you've seen me do this before when I'm sitting on stairs, when I'm walking down the street, when I am in a crowded place. If I do not want people staring at me or looking to see what I'm doing, if I don't have anybody to help me, and if I don't want to use a clicker or run back and forth to take those photos, I can take the screenshots. Now, the caveat to this is that if you're taking content on your phone, it's cell phone quality. It's not going to be the same quality as a normal camera. So you have to keep in mind when you should be using this. So if you are going to use something like this, you want to make sure that you are going to be keeping in mind how you're using this. If it's for a brand deal or sponsorship with a company, if you're going to be using this on your website, on your blog, if you're going to be using this anywhere other than like Instagram for a thumbnail, you're going to want to go higher quality, because quality does matter, especially if you're being paid to create this content. So if you're getting photos, use an actual camera for a brand, for a company, for a brand deal, all of those things. This is easy to use if you're just using this for your thumbnails on Instagram, if you're just going to be putting this on TikTok, if you're just going to be putting this on Instagram, these are totally fine. It's the same quality you're going to get from taking photos on your phone, but you have more opportunity to scrub through and get the actual images that you like. So as you're doing this, if you were going to be taking these as a photo, maybe that would be your photo, but perhaps we would move our shoulder back a little bit and we like that one better. You could do that in live photo. You can scrub through a little bit, but you don't have the ability to get all of these. In those 24 seconds that I created this video to create all of those images, I was then able to get a dozen or more photos that I really liked. If I had taken this and used a timer, used a remote shutter release, or had somebody do it, I could get 3 or 4 maybe in that 24 seconds. So this saves a lot of time and effort that you can just scrub through that video. And then you also have the video content that you can be using on the social platforms as well. So this is a really great way to save time and effort, to get a whole bunch of photos, to get the opportunity to try things out. And again, as you're doing this, you just have to remember to move slowly and strike different poses. So think about what could potentially look good. Moving forward, moving your shoulders, looking down, looking up, moving your hair, putting your arm behind you. All of these things, you can just kind of go through a flow, and then you can, in those 24 seconds, get all of those images. See how I got all of those images that I can then be using? And I can be using clips of. I can be going through and finding the exact right moment, and it saves me a lot of time and effort, and it's very innocuous. People are not going to notice if you are walking up to a bicycle for 24 seconds and walking away. I did one, again, I said earlier, I did one on a staircase. I was there for less than a minute. I was walking down a sidewalk with buildings, and it looked like I was just moving along. I stepped back to grab my tripod and my phone, and then I moved forward. It does not draw attention to you. So if you're somebody who does not want a lot of attention, this is a great way and a really great opportunity for you to be getting a ton of content in a very short and condensed time that you can then use in multiple ways, both video and in photos, and it's easy to use those. So now let's talk a little bit about how I cull through these images. Once I go through my footage and I scroll through it, then I will close the video when I am done. I will go into my camera roll, and in the small screen, I usually like the 3 grid layout instead of like the 5 grid layout, so I can see things a little bit better, because that's approximately the size you're going to see them on Instagram, right? And I'll look for the ones that catch my eye. Anything that looks good in small form, I will then click on it in big form, decide if I like it, I'll favorite it with a little heart, and then I know which ones are going to be valuable for me to use. So I can take 100 photos in 60 seconds, 100 screenshots of that video footage that I created in different poses with different angles, and I can see very quickly which ones stand out to me, favorite those, and then from there I can decide what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use, and if I'm going to then do any extra editing on it, if I'm going to Photoshop off the dark circles under my eyes, or if you are somebody who uses presets, you can choose which ones work best for you and move forward from there. So it's really easy to create a ton of content in a very short amount of time, then decide which ones are going to fit best. It's going to be very easy for you to make those decisions and then move forward with how you're going to be posting these on social media. For more tips and tricks like this, make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell. I'm dropping videos every single day, helping you level up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, and with the tools and resources you need to save time creating your social media content so you can make more money on social media, but still run your business and live your best life without stressing over constantly creating content, while still constantly, very easily, and within seconds create that content. Remember, I filmed this video in 24 seconds. I could then take another 24 seconds to scroll through and pick which screenshots I want to take. I can then take another couple of seconds to look and decide which ones are going to fit for me. And then if I'm running them through a preset, or if I'm doing just a little bit of retouching, that takes maybe a minute or two. So in under 2 minutes, I can create video content, photo content, have everything ready to go, and move forward with my life for an entire shoot in under a couple of minutes. And you can do this too. So stay tuned for more tips and tricks just like this one. Drop your questions down below, and I'll see you for our next live stream Q&A. Ask me anything every single Wednesday, just like today. I'll see you in the next episode.